There is the end of the Premier League season today. And just like after farewells happening in Spain, it comes to the England, and now it's the England turn, and like the ending of the melodrama movie, Guardiola's time has reached the final whistle. And also, I could mention about Mohamed Salah, who played exceptional seasons with Liverpool, John Stones, Bernardo Silva. Also, I can add to this that in this final game, two big clubs, let's say in England, will fight for stay in Premier League. It is Tottenham and West Ham. So so I can add to that Manchester United is rebuilding their squad for 947th time, and it's a big question: will this work this time or not? First of all, I would like to say that it will be emotional days for Manchester City fans and also the rival fans, because seeing and growing up how Guardiola was the manager of this club, was the head coach of this club, is massive. In the sense of we will not see him in the Premier League anymore. His last game, and after that it's finished. And I suppose that it will be quite emotional day, not for only City fans but also for rival fans. The title race is over. I could mention about that, and now it's a turn to say goodbye. There is also a chance that Tottenham Hotspur will gonna go to championship because if they lose to Everton at home and West Ham wins, it will be finished for them. And I mean, it can be deserved because they are having disgusting performances for the last 2 seasons. They are not good enough. The last year they have also that kind of performance, and the season they were 15th or 16th, and even maybe 17th if I'm not mistaken. So this is continuing, and if they will go to the championship, I will not be surprised in the sense of deserving the championship place, because they are going there. It's like one thing is going and developing for the Champions League titles or to the Premier League title. Another thing is degrading and going to the being the worst every season and go to the championship. And it can happen with Tottenham. So it will be deserved, in my opinion. I suppose that maybe Tottenham fans will not be happy regarding that, but it is what it is. Bro, you have to look to the truth like in a brave way. You need to accept that, because Tottenham seasons, not just, it's like not coincidence, it's not for a one season, it's for the last 3 seasons, they were disaster. It will be, shame to stay like that in the Premier League, because they are not good enough for the Premier League for this season. It's unacceptable to play like that way, and accept that you will survive. I'm just not somebody who is a hater for the Tottenham. I'm just looking to this from the view of football, because Tottenham well deserves the championship, in my opinion. Maybe they will survive this time, but it will be like justice to go to the championship, to be relegated this season for Tottenham, for the performance that they are showing for these last 2 seasons. They deserved it. It's quite a big, the generation, some generations growth in watching like Mohamed Salah's game, seeing that Guardiola is every time winning titles, and now it's finished. Now it's end of this story, and it will open some chances to other clubs to become the big club, bigger, to play for the competitions, to fight for the Premier League title. But another thing is now, Manchester United couldn't prove that with Guardiola they could win the title. The coaches who came to Man United, they couldn't fight with Guardiola. Since Guardiola came to the club, Man United couldn't be the champion. This is the big thing. It's like Ferguson's time. In Ferguson's time, Liverpool couldn't win the titles. Manchester United also couldn't. This is so strange, you know. This is so strange. I mean, this is like I cannot explain it just in a simple words in the way that they were not title contenders anyway. So they started rebuilding their squad, and this time maybe it will work. From the recent news that comes from the press, they are just negotiating to sign Ederson from Atalanta, a new midfielder. They try to solve the midfielder situation by signing Erdeson. What I'm just I just want to be positive for Manchester United fans, but Ederson for me is like seems something very risky in the sense of not a Premier League proven player, and also I'm not sure that he's in a level to play in the Premier League and in the level to play for Manchester United, because he reminds me Fred, you know. Fred was also a good player, but he was not good enough for Manchester United in the sense of fighting for the titles. He could bring you to the top four, but you know, these kind of players to play and win the titles, you need much more better players. In the sense of Fred, it was not good enough. He was not good enough. And United is nowadays thinking to sell Ugarte, maybe Zirkzee also, which is quite well strategy. And they are trying to bring Carlos Baleba or Mateus Fernandes to rotate Menu. And also they will need one more defensive midfielder except from Ederson, who will replace Casemiro, because Ederson, I suppose, will replace Ugarte, because they are just maybe in a similar style, or let's say in a similar level. Maybe Ederson is a little bit better in the sense of he haven't failed yet in Premier League as Ugarte had. So this is an open question that needs to be answered, but in the sense of being the good, and in the sense of finding the right balance for the club, for this team, is a big challenge for Wilcox, who is not, let's say, doing exceptional job, but trying to do something, as he's not sport director originally. He's a technical director. So, you know, let's see what's gonna happen. But buying also Baleba and Mateus Fernandes and Ederson will be not quite well situation. Will not cause a not quite good situation for Manchester United in the sense of balance, because they need two defensive midfielders at the same time. Two midfielders who can just play near the defensive midfielder, but at the same time give some vertical passes, create some moments, and control the game. Nowadays, it's I can mention Kobe Maino, who can become that kind of player, but for rotation, there needs to be brought another player for Kobe Maino's place, and even in some sense, it can be, you know, if Elliot Anderson comes, he cost 100 million euros or something. There will be a chance that they will not buy the third midfielder. In that case, there will be Ederson, Elliot Anderson, and Kobe Maino. And we are just staying with Mason Mount, who is also can play in that position, and maybe it can give a right balance in that sense, because Mason Mount can be adapted to that position. And he's not too much old, he's not young, and he has some qualities for that, and it can work. But at the same time, they can instead buy three cheaper options, like Hijmuland from Sporting, Ederson from Atlanta, what they are doing now, and another one is Mateus Fernandes. There will be four overall with Kobe Maino so it can give a right balance for the midfielder situation, let's say. Also, they will need to do another transfers, but we will discuss it in the later videos. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.